Cooper Flagg is really, at this point, a consensus #1 overall pick.
He is widely considered the #1 prospect in either class.
Cooper is one of the highest-ranked recruits in the class of 2025, receiving offers from Duke, UConn, Michigan, all the best.
Where top prospect Cooper Flagg announced he's going to reclassify to the class of 2024 for high schools from the 2025 class. Now,
five-star recruit Cooper Flagg has committed to Duke on a Monday morning for us. He's the #1 recruit in the class of 2024.
Cooper Flagg has gone from being the nation's top high school prospect to becoming a genuine phenomenon at the collegiate level. He's already established himself as a near-consensus, future #1 overall NBA draft pick. And at this point, the excitement around him has only intensified since he set foot on Duke's campus. Many felt Cooper was the #1 recruit coming out of high school, and now, as a freshman at Duke, he's turning that promise into reality at the college level. When he reclassified from the class of 2025 to 2024, the buzz was deafening. Now, with him already impacting the game on one of the biggest stages in college basketball, there's a growing chorus of fans and even some respected scouts who believe he might be a more dominant college player than superstars like Kevin Durant and Jason Tatum were at this stage of their careers. It's high praise, but Cooper's game speaks for itself. Let's take a step back and remember how this all came together. As a high schooler, Cooper Flagg was the highest-ranked recruit in the class of 2025, garnering offers from blue blood programs like Duke, UConn, and Michigan, among many others. Yet when he made his decision to reclassify to 2024, he didn't just maintain his top spot, he strengthened his position as the premier talent in his class. Ultimately, Cooper committed to Duke, the program known for churning out NBA-ready stars. The signing was met with near euphoria in Durham. They all knew they'd landed a potential franchise cornerstone in waiting. Now, as a full-fledged member of the Duke Blue Devils, Cooper's presence has fans, scouts, and even some NBA general managers on high alert, eagerly tracking every game he plays as if he's on a short runway to the pros. He's not even halfway through his first collegiate season, yet Cooper is already posting remarkable performances against top-tier Division I competition. He's shown the complete package, scoring at all three levels, making high IQ passes, protecting the rim, and switching onto multiple positions defensively. His stat line at Duke, a balanced mixture of points, rebounds, assists, and blocks, reads like a seasoned veteran's, not a freshman's. Fans on message boards and social media are going as far as to say that his dominance at this stage might eclipse what Kevin Durant showcased at Texas or what Jason Tatum displayed in his lone year at Duke. Is it hyperbole? Maybe. But the fact that the conversation even exists speaks volumes about Cooper's game and the sheer level of skill he's brought to the ACC. To understand how Cooper got here, we need to trace the roots of his meteoric rise. He was born in Newport, Maine, and from day one, basketball flowed through his veins. His parents played college ball, so the environment was ripe for him to develop a deep understanding of the game. He and his twin brother Ace hit the hardwood early, honing skills that would eventually put Cooper on the national radar. In high school, long before he was dropping double-doubles and making highlight reel plays at Duke, Cooper was racking up historic accolades. As a freshman at Nokomis Regional High School in Maine, he averaged 20.5 points, 10 rebounds, over 6 assists, nearly 4 steals, and almost 4 blocks per game. Those numbers were unheard of for a freshman, and he made history by becoming the first freshman ever named Maine Gatorade Player of the Year. But let's be honest, Maine's basketball scene isn't exactly a national hotbed. To truly test his limits and improve his craft, Cooper needed a bigger stage. After his freshman season, he left Maine for Montverde Academy in Florida, a powerhouse known for producing elite college and NBA talent. At Montverde, Cooper held his own against future pros, posting solid numbers as a sophomore and showcasing flashes of brilliance that left scouts salivating. He took MVP honors at the 2023 Hoopa Classic, reinforcing the notion that he wasn't just a product of a small basketball market. He was the real deal. His performance at Montverde, followed by a sensational stint back on the EYBL circuit, elevated Cooper to a whole new level of national recognition. As a 16-year-old, he dominated the 16U competition, averaging nearly 27 points, 12 rebounds, and close to 5 assists and 5 blocks per game. Those are video game numbers, and at the prestigious Nike Peach Jam, he posted 3 straight triple-doubles, averaging 34.7 points, 16 rebounds, and 10.7 blocks over that span. To put it bluntly, he wasn't just good, he was looking like a once-in-a-generation prospect. All of this laid the groundwork for an epic senior year at Montverde after he reclassified. Despite moving up a class and facing older competition, Cooper retained his status as the top recruit in 2024. He thrived on a team stacked with elite talent, guiding Montverde to an undefeated record and cementing himself as a no-brainer pick for the McDonald's All-American Game. By the time he finished high school, he was a household name among basketball enthusiasts, who saw him as more than just a top recruit. He was the kind of player who could transform a program overnight. Now at Duke, Cooper is thriving under the intense spotlight of Cameron Indoor Stadium. Surrounded by fellow 5-star recruits and a storied program's expectations, he's showing that he can still be the alpha dog on a loaded roster. Early in his college career, he's logging consistent scoring outputs, controlling the glass, dishing out assists in transition, and turning away shots with jaw-dropping blocks that bring the Duke faithful to their feet. NBA scouts sitting courtside can't help but draw comparisons to great forwards who once passed through these halls: Brandon Ingram, Zion Williamson, Paolo Banchero, and yes, even Jason Tatum. Yet some bold voices in the crowd are whispering that Cooper might be the best of them all, better even than the current NBA stars who once donned the Duke jersey. Part of what makes Cooper so special is that his game goes beyond scoring. He's a playmaker, a facilitator, and a defensive anchor. He's got the size, the instincts, and the footwork that make him a nightmare on both ends of the floor. Remember how in high school he flirted with quadruple doubles? Those instincts haven't gone away. They've only sharpened. His timing on defense, his spatial awareness, and his willingness to do the dirty work. These attributes make him stand out in the college game, where top prospects often rely on sheer athleticism rather than nuance and skill. Now, with Cooper proving his worth against some of the toughest competition in the nation, the NBA chatter is louder than ever. He's eligible for the 2025 NBA Draft, and some analysts believe he's a lock to go #1 overall. They see a player who could anchor a franchise from day one. The tools are there: a smooth jumper that's improving steadily, polished ball handling, a knack for reading defenses, and an unparalleled motor. He's shown he can finish through contact, maneuver in the post, step out for a three, and orchestrate an offense as a pseudo-point forward. The conversations about him possibly surpassing Durant or Tatum as a college player might be fueled by fandom, but the comparisons exist for a reason. Cooper is checking boxes that few have checked at his age. Duke's track record for producing NBA forwards is impeccable. Zion, Tatum, Ingram, and Banchero all went on to immediate success in the league. Cooper's name is already being mentioned among that elite fraternity, and some argue he might have the most well-rounded skill set of all of them at this stage. His transition to the college game has been seamless, and his defensive versatility has scouts salivating. Modern basketball values players who can guard multiple positions, protect the rim, and still space the floor. Cooper seems like he was built in a lab for the modern NBA, capable of switching onto smaller guards, defending the paint, and sparking fast breaks with a pinpoint outlet pass. The reclassification decision that once seemed bold now looks like a stroke of genius. By accelerating his timeline, Cooper positioned himself to be on the fast track to the NBA. He's showing that the hype wasn't just smoke and mirrors, it's grounded in hard evidence, month after month, game after game. Sure, we've all been burned before by high school phenoms who never lived up to the promise. But Cooper feels different. He's refined, composed, and his production keeps matching the intensity of the hype. Another layer to the story is the ongoing debate for the top recruit in his original class. Players like Ace Bailey have been putting up outrageous numbers, but critics point out that Cooper's combination of offense and defense at an elite program like Duke sets him apart. His polish and poise are rare, especially given the level of competition he's facing. It's one thing to drop 40 points in a lesser-known setting, it's another to excel under the unforgiving lights of Cameron Indoor against future NBA players, with the entire basketball world watching. Yes, the skepticism remains. There's always a risk when we project greatness so early. We've learned from prospects who've fizzled out. The difference here is Cooper's pedigree, his attitude, and the way he's handling pressure. He's the kind of player who invites comparisons to all-time greats and then steadily justifies them with his day-to-day performances. As he navigates conference play and gears up for the NCAA tournament, he's only adding to his legacy. So, is it too soon to call him the next great Duke forward? Or perhaps the next in line for that #1 pick who can truly anchor an NBA team? Some might say it's too early. Others believe we're merely stating the inevitable. The fact that fans dare to compare him favorably to Kevin Durant or Jason Tatum at the college level, even if it's a stretch, proves just how special Cooper is. He's already shifting the conversation about what a freshman phenom looks like in today's game. In the end, time will tell. But if what we've seen so far at Duke is any indication, the Cooper Flagg hype train is just picking up steam. We might be witnessing something truly rare, a player poised to redefine expectations at every level he touches. As he continues to write his story, one thing is certain: Cooper Flagg is well on his way to becoming a name you'll be hearing in the NBA for years to come. The only question left is how high his ceiling really is. And at this rate, it looks like the sky's the limit. After nearly 10 years of being mocked and turned into an internet punchline, Julian Newman is finally playing college basketball. Well, sort of. After years of claiming he was a Division I caliber player who would eventually reach the NBA, his path took a sharp detour, and he basically vanished from the public eye after 2020. But now, at long last, we're witnessing a Julian Newman comeback. At 23 years old, Julian Newman has officially taken the court at the collegiate level. This latest milestone has prompted him to take shots at established NBA stars like Steph Curry and LaMelo Ball. But does he really have any right to do so? Let's break down some key details of his performance so you can judge for yourself. He's listed as a freshman at Bethesda University in California, which competes under the NCCAA, the National Christian College Athletic Association. They aren't even part of the NCAA. So yes, Julian Newman did technically prove everyone wrong. He is playing college basketball. But his start hasn't exactly been what he might have dreamed of. Let's break it down. As mentioned, Bethesda is not affiliated with the NCAA. Still, he is playing college ball, right? He is getting some time on the floor. Well, it may not be what you imagined. Instead of lighting up the scoreboard, Newman has been assembling a pretty dismal highlight reel. In his debut game, Bethesda squared off against Cal State Bakersfield. Julian logged 15 minutes, but but shot 0 for 3 overall and 0 for 3 from beyond the arc. He scored 3 points, all from free throws, had 1 assist, no rebounds, no steals, no blocks, and 2 turnovers. Oh, and his team lost by 69 points, falling 122 to 53. Definitely not the kind of start Julian envisioned. In the second game, Bethesda faced Southern Utah. Julian attempted to get more involved, taking more shots, but he somehow managed another rough outing. He played 15 minutes again and decided not to share the ball much. He scored 6 points, shot 3 for 12 from the field, 0 for 6 from 3, and missed all 3 of his free throws. He did grab 4 rebounds and added 1 assist this time, but he put up 18 attempts in just 15 minutes. And did Bethesda improve after the 69-point blowout? Slightly, they lost by 53 this time. An absolutely brutal start to the season for the Bethesda Flames. Now on to Game 3. Bethesda came off losses of 69 and 53 points. They had to do better against Utah Tech, right? Technically, yes. They only lost by 31 points this time, 90 to 59. Maybe Julian stepped it up in this lopsided defeat? He only played 6 minutes, missed all 3 of his field goals, and all 3 of his 3-point attempts, plus both of his free throws. He finished with 0 points, 2 rebounds, and 1 steal. His 4th game was against an institution named the Masters. Julian got just 4 minutes, but managed to fire up 7 shots, missing them all, including going 0 for 5 from deep. Bethesda lost 117 to 57, a 60-point defeat. Is he just coming in and launching bricks once the team is already getting crushed? Let's recap. In the 4 games Julian played, Bethesda lost by an average of 53 points. That might be the most insane statistic here. Over those 4 games, Julian went 3 for 25 from the field, 0 for 17 from 3, and 3 for 9 from the line. That's 12% from the field, 0% from beyond the arc, and 33% from the stripe. He averaged just 3 points per game, 2 rebounds, and under 1 assist while playing about 10 minutes per contest. So, yeah, his team is awful, and he's playing terribly. He's arguably one of the weakest players on one of the weakest squads in the entire country. If you can find a college team that got blown out by an average of more than 53 points over their first 4 games, let us know. People have wondered what Julian had been working toward all these years, and after witnessing his current performances at Bethesda, the questions have their answer. This was his last shot at proving he could still compete, at not being left behind by the basketball world. But once he hit the floor, it just didn't look promising. If there are any bright spots in his performances so far, they're almost impossible to see. He's been absolutely atrocious during his short stint with the team. Whether it's insufficient training, poor coaching, lack of talent, or some combination of all 3, it's hard to pinpoint. But it's clearly not working for him, in case that wasn't already obvious. This is a problem, and not just for Bethesda's basketball program, but for others as well. Bethesda University isn't known for basketball. In fact, most people probably never even heard of it before Julian Newman showed up. But they do have a collegiate team, and many high school players dream of playing at this level without ever getting the chance. The truth is, Newman was granted this spot largely due to his notoriety. When you think about mixtapes, his name usually pops up, because seeing someone so small and so young putting on a show is rare. Julian Newman is a unique case in the modern basketball landscape. His entire career thus far has been fueled by online hype, with some basketball sprinkled in. It's a case study in how social media can propel someone forward if they become popular enough. But even this scenario is an extreme outlier. In a strange way, it fits perfectly. Julian Newman isn't good enough, but neither is Bethesda, and whether or not he's on the team doesn't really change that fact. there are always going to be guys who just aren't equipped for the next level everywhere you look. That might be an NBA bench, warmer, not suited to be a star, or a kid who barely got playing time on their middle school team. Still, these players bring something intangible. For Bethesda, Julian Newman is that guy. He may not produce on the floor, but he brings the Newman brand. He brings the hype generated from years of social media coverage, mixtapes, and all the drama that came with it. This situation also sheds light on what college basketball often is today. You have those who grind tirelessly behind the scenes, yearning for that one opportunity to shine, refining their craft year after year. And then you have the Julian Newmans of the world, players who rely heavily, almost exclusively on the hype surrounding their name. That hype might make them attractive to certain teams willing to trade away talent for the spectacle. It begs the question, how much does hype offset a lack of talent? How do you strike a balance? Without a marketable figure, it's tough to attract fans, especially casual ones. People are drawn to big names, even if they don't perform well. It's a tricky situation, and players like Newman capitalize on it. We've seen similar narratives, such as the ongoing Bronny James debates. Is he NBA ready or not? Some fans demand proof. Others embrace him wholeheartedly. On the other hand, look at players who combined hype with actual results, like the Ball brothers. They also grew up under the spotlight, capturing headlines at Chino Hills and starring in their own reality show. But unlike Newman, their endgame was vastly different. Lonzo made it to the NBA, paving the way for LaMelo, who's thriving with the Charlotte Hornets. And even LiAngelo has found spots in the G League and Summer League. That's what happens when publicity and talent align. In many cases, like Newman's, that balance just isn't there. Julian Newman's presence today in college ball is a testament to how big the game's hype machine has become, especially for players not at the highest skill level. He will be remembered as that guy who never truly made it big. He'll be known for playing at Bethesda, of all places, and forever as a symbol of the intertwining of hype and hoops in modern basketball culture. But what do you think about Julian Newman's situation? Will he ever manage to produce at a high level with his new college team?
You think he can be as good as Steph Curry in the NBA?
Heck no! He's gonna be better than Steph Curry in the NBA.
LaMelo Ball has rapidly ascended to become one of the NBA's most electrifying young stars. This season alone, he's averaging an impressive 31 points, 7 assists, and 5 rebounds per game. Since joining the Charlotte Hornets, LaMelo has transformed the franchise from a mid-market, underwhelming team into one of the league's most entertaining squads. LaMelo and his enthusiastic fans are embracing the idea that he has now surpassed Steph Curry and other NBA superstars. But is this claim really true? While some agree, let's dive into the facts and analyze the evidence to uncover the truth behind this bold narrative. Born in 2001 to LeVar and Tina Ball, LaMelo was destined for basketball greatness. LeVar Ball, known for his larger-than-life personality and bold claims about his own athletic prowess, played basketball for a year at Washington State University, averaging just 2 points per game. After his brief stint in college basketball, LeVar pivoted to football, playing for minor pro teams and spending time on NFL practice squads. Despite his efforts, he never made it to the big leagues. Determined to have 3 sons all reach the NBA, LeVar sought a partner who met his athletic and genetic standards, leading him to Tina Ball. Standing at just over 6 feet and a former college basketball player herself, Tina was the perfect match. Together, LeVar and Tina began training their 3 sons, Lonzo, LiAngelo, and LaMelo, in basketball from the moment they could walk. This intense early training laid the foundation for what would become a basketball dynasty. Typically, in families with multiple children playing the same sport, the eldest often shines the brightest, with younger siblings striving to keep up. For LaMelo, the youngest Ball brother, this dynamic pushed him to excel beyond his years. To compete with his older brothers, LaMelo played up a grade level, fostering adaptability and resilience against tougher competition. This early exposure to higher levels of play was crucial in shaping his competitive spirit and versatile skill set. By high school, the Ball family had become renowned in the basketball community. The 2016 Chino Hills basketball team, featuring Lonzo, LiAngelo, LaMelo, and future Hawks forward Onyeka Okongwu, is often hailed as one of the greatest high school teams ever. They finished the season undefeated at 35-0, defeating numerous top-tier private schools and showcasing a blend of talent, teamwork, and unorthodox playing styles. As a freshman, LaMelo contributed as a spot-up shooter, demonstrating impressive range and fearless confidence. While his passing was secondary to Lonzo's primary ball-handling role, LaMelo showcased quick outlet passes in transition. Defensively, his slight frame and occasional lack of focus were evident weaknesses, but these years were crucial in building his fearless approach to the game. The following season, with Lonzo departing for college basketball, LaMelo stepped into a more prominent role. Although Chino Hills didn't maintain an undefeated record, their dominance was clear, often playing with a sense of ease and confidence that belied their competition. LaMelo delivered memorable performances that captivated audiences and scouts alike. In one game, he scored an astonishing 92 points by cherry-picking, dominating the scoreboard with a blend of creativity and sheer determination. Another standout moment came when he drained a half-court shot just 5 seconds into a game, setting the tone with an audacious display of skill. Despite the playful trolling from opponents and spectators, it was evident that LaMelo possessed enormous potential. As Chino Hills' primary scorer and playmaker during his sophomore year, LaMelo led the offense with highlight-worthy moments that kept fans on the edge of their seats. His willingness to drive to the basket increased, though his shot selection leaned heavily on deep three-pointers. His passing evolved into a flashy, yet sometimes inefficient mix of high-risk, high-reward decisions. Defensively, his minimal effort and lack of discipline remained areas for growth, but his offensive prowess continued to shine. LaVar Ball became increasingly vocal online, leveraging his son's growing popularity and Lonzo's success in college. He famously claimed that Lonzo was better than Steph Curry during Lonzo's college days, and went as far as stating that LaMelo would surpass Curry in the NBA. LaVar's bold statements often sparked debates and controversies, keeping the Ball family in the media spotlight. To capitalize on his son's talent, LaVar launched the Big Baller brand, creating signature shoes for Lonzo, LiAngelo, and LaMelo. This move, however, violated NCAA rules regarding amateur status, causing LaMelo to lose his college eligibility. Dissatisfied with changes in Chino Hills' coaching and administration, LaVar decided to pull LaMelo out of high school before his junior year, seeking alternative paths to professional basketball. LaVar then took LaMelo and LiAngelo to Lithuania to play professionally for the Prienai basketball club. This move came after LiAngelo faced an indefinite suspension from the UCLA basketball team due to a theft incident in China. In Lithuania, LaMelo struggled to adapt to the structured professional system, primarily serving as a bench player. Scoring consistently against older, stronger competition was challenging, and he was often limited to spot-up shooting. While his playmaking ability showed glimpses, his immature decision-making and defensive lapses were exposed by disciplined European players. Despite these challenges, the experience was invaluable, teaching him the importance of structured and disciplined play. After averaging 6.5 points per game in 12 minutes for Prienai, LaVar pulled LaMelo from the team, believing the coach wasn't providing enough playing time. This stint effectively ended any hopes of LaMelo playing college basketball, forcing him to seek alternative paths to continue his basketball career. Undeterred by his experiences in Lithuania, LaVar Ball launched the Junior Basketball Association as an alternative to college basketball. The JBA was designed to allow players to turn professional and earn money before entering the NBA. LaMelo was the star of the Los Angeles team, where he averaged nearly 40 points, 15 rebounds, and 12 assists, leading his team to the championship. However, the JBA faced criticism for its low competition level and lack of subsequent seasons, with many players claiming they were never paid, thereby wasting their chances to play college basketball. In the JBA, LaMelo thrived as the league's marquee player, dominating offensively and showcasing his creativity in playmaking. His defensive effort remained minimal, but the experience helped him regain confidence and momentum after his struggles in Lithuania. The JBA served as a platform for LaMelo to refine his skills and maintain his visibility in the basketball world, setting the stage for his next move. Following the JBA, LaMelo returned to high school for his senior year at Spire. Here, he presented a more mature and polished game, emerging as a true team leader. Offensively, he balanced his ability to hit deep three-pointers with an increased willingness to drive to the rim. Improved body control and creativity around the basket made him a more versatile scorer. As a playmaker, his court vision and basketball IQ shone, orchestrating Spire's offense with both flashy and smart, efficient decisions. Defensively, LaMelo began to make strides, utilizing his 6'7" frame and long wingspan to disrupt passing lanes and contest shots. While not yet a lockdown defender, his improved presence hinted at his potential on the defensive end. His leadership and maturity set him apart, blending individual brilliance with team success and silencing critics who questioned his commitment and maturity. After graduating high school, LaMelo signed with the Illawarra Hawks in Australia's National Basketball League, marking a transformative chapter in his career. In the NBL, he thrived in a structured yet fast-paced environment, displaying significant growth in decision-making and adaptability. Offensively, LaMelo showcased his versatility, scoring from all three levels and improving his ability to attack the rim with size, agility, and creativity. His elite playmaking stood out, with advanced court vision and the ability to elevate his teammates through pinpoint passes and orchestrated offensive plays. Defensively, LaMelo made noticeable improvements, using his physical attributes to disrupt opponents. His time in the NBL prepared him for the NBA's physicality, refining his body and mindset for the next level. By season's end, he was awarded the NBL Rookie of the Year, solidifying his status as a top NBA prospect despite missing games due to injury. Entering the 2020 NBA Draft, many expected LaMelo to be the first overall pick. However, he fell to the Charlotte Hornets, who selected him as their new hope. This unexpected turn became a defining moment for both LaMelo and the Hornets. In his rookie season, LaMelo made an immediate impact, becoming one of the most exciting young players in the league. His dazzling passes, fearless drives to the rim, and ability to orchestrate the Hornets' offense made him an instant fan favorite. LaMelo was named NBA Rookie of the Year, averaging 16 points, 6 rebounds, and 6 assists, firmly establishing himself as a promising young star. In his second season, LaMelo increased his averages to 20 points, 7 rebounds, and 8 assists, earning an all-star appearance as an injury replacement for Kevin Durant. Despite his individual improvement, the Hornets struggled, making the play in tournament but being eliminated in the first game each of his first 2 seasons. The following seasons were marred by injuries. LaMelo broke his ankle in the 2022-23 season and faced another injury in 2023-24, limiting him to 58 games across those 2 years. Nonetheless, his stats continued to rise steadily, showcasing his resilience and dedication to improving his game despite setbacks. Entering the current season, LaMelo has proven all doubters wrong, playing like one of the league's best guards. Averaging 31 points, 5 rebounds, and 7 assists, he ranks second in the NBA in scoring. LaMelo's scoring is anything but traditional. He's hitting step-back and fadeaway threes, finishing layups at the rim, and toying with defenders just as he did at Chino Hills. His seemingly nonchalant attitude on the court adds to his effectiveness, making him unstoppable. LaMelo's ability to create his own shot while simultaneously setting up his teammates makes him a dual threat that defenses struggle to contain. His ball-handling skills allow him to navigate through tight defenses, while his vision enables him to find open teammates in motion. This season, his confidence has soared, and his playmaking has reached new heights, further establishing him as a cornerstone for the Hornets' future. With his electrifying play and larger-than-life personality, LaMelo is not just chasing greatness, he's redefining what it means to be an NBA All-Star. While his individual performances aren't yet translating to team wins, the Hornets are in a rebuilding phase. If Charlotte can surround LaMelo with the right pieces, they could become a legendary team akin to the 2016 Chino Hills squad. The synergy between LaMelo and potential future acquisitions could lead to a renaissance for the Hornets, transforming them into perennial playoff contenders. Looking ahead, LaMelo Ball is poised to continue evolving into one of the NBA's biggest stars, inspiring the next generation of players and creating new opportunities both on and off the court. Whether leading the Hornets to the playoffs or making viral highlight reels, LaMelo Ball is a name destined to be remembered in basketball history. From the most infamous high school sensation of the social media era to a bona fide NBA star, LaMelo's story is one of the most compelling ever written, with many more chapters yet to be added before he eventually hangs up his jersey for good. Beyond his on-court prowess, LaMelo Ball has made significant strides off the court. His charismatic personality and active presence on social media have made him a relatable and influential figure among fans, especially the younger generation. LaMelo's involvement in various endorsements, partnerships, and his continued collaboration with the Big Baller brand highlight his entrepreneurial spirit and business acumen. Moreover, LaMelo's journey from high school phenom to international player and finally to NBA star serves as an inspiring tale for aspiring basketball players worldwide. His resilience in the face of setbacks, such as injuries and the challenges of adapting to professional play, underscores the importance of perseverance and adaptability in achieving one's goals.